Hello everyone, and thanks for joining me. Today I am going to be looking at a counter pressure bottle filler. And for those of us that bottle off the keg, pretty much going through the taps, you usually end up using one of these. Another option is using one of these things, just a picnic tap with one of the tubes on it, from a bottle filler. So coming off the keg, you usually use one of these two things. Now, I was contacted on Facebook and he wanted to know if I would be so kind as to purchase a newer bottle filler that's available only here in Norway. And so I went ahead and I purchased it for him, and he requested that I do a review of it. So here it is. It's called the TapCooler counter pressure bottle filler. And basically what this is you put it onto the end of your tap to fill bottles with, and it's a pretty cool little gadget. So let's go ahead and take a look at this a little bit more closely. Alright, so the basic idea is you have this extending arm that can go into many different sizes of bottles. It's got this rubber stopper up here that fits all the bottle types I have, everything from 33 centiliter, like a 12-ounce bottle, all the way up to 16-ounce, 24-ounce, like a bomber, all the way up to a 750. So it fits in there quite nicely. The idea is that you'll put the gas in here, and then you push on the release valve to let the gas in. Of course, if this is this valve acts as a release valve, so you open this up, and then the CO2 will be able to come out, basically out of the bottle. You stick this end up into the tap, open it up, beer will come in, down the tube, down to the bottom of the glass, and you can actually use this screw to create even more pressure so that you reduce the foaming inside the bottle. So let's go ahead and take a look at this in action. See, it's got a pretty snug fit getting in there, which is quite nice. But you try and put it into the older ones, the 525s, they're just way too loose. There's no way that that's going to work. So make sure it goes into the 630s. And it might help if you put a little bit of star sand on that ahead of time, just to grease it up. Then get it straight in there, and it fits up in there. It's quite snug, so it's pretty tight, which is a good thing. Alright, so first thing we got to do is hook up the gas, and these use the Johnny Guest line. So from, I think this is a 5/8 possibly, down to a 3/16 adapter, and that just pushes right here into the side. And then if I turn on my gas is on. I got about 12 psi in there, and then I'll turn on the gas. You can, if I push on the valve, you can hear the gas come out. So it's coming out the bottom. Also, if you let out the side valve, that will release the pressure that comes up inside the bottle. So let's go ahead and tap this on here. So I've got pressure in the keg now. If I push this up here, right now I'm pushing down the button, it's putting gas into the bottle, and it's coming out here on the side, the pressure, I can hear it. If I open up the bottle now, and I release this, now I can hear gas coming out. You can start to see the beer coming in. If I close this, it will equalize the pressure and no more beer comes through. So I open up this valve a little bit and I can control the flow as it comes into the bottle. So if you got very highly carbonated beer, you got fine granularity control here over the gas being let out of the bottle, therefore keeping the CO2 pressurized inside the bottle. Bring it up to where I want it. We'll see the beer actually spill out, or the foam spill out the side, which is okay. This is what you want. The beer is coming up. Shut the tap off. The pressure inside is just enough. You take it off, and there, you can cap on foam. All right, let's see if I can get this shot from a slightly different angle. I'm gonna go ahead and slide this on here. It's a bit tight. Okay, so it's on there. I'll go ahead and extend this out. Bring the bottle up on there so it's touching on the bottom. I'll push it up to create some pressure. I'll let some of the gas in until I start to hear it coming out over here. I can hear it coming out. Now I'll go ahead and I'll start bringing in the beer. It's just starting to come in, so I'll open up the valve a little bit more. You see the beer start to come in even more. Like I was saying before, if I close this, I have real tight control over the pressure, and then it stops filling. So I'll open it back up. All that pressure that's in there is from the CO2 that I purged with in the beginning. So I'll go ahead and I'll let the foam come out. Just let it drip out, get to where you want it. About right there, about the middle of the neck. I'll close off the beer. Then I will actually let out the rest of the gas. I don't want too much pressure. When I take off this cap, I don't want any pressure. Right? Boom. I'll close this off. Come down here, take this off, and then cap it. So there you go. That's it in action. It actually works really well. Did take a little bit of a learning curve in order to get used to the pressure inside it. So I actually took the bottle off once before I shut the beer off, and all sorts of pressure sort of splashed all over. But anyways, once you get the idea to it, you let the foam come out the end of it here, and then shut off the beer, and then close the pressure. Then you can take the bottle off without any problems, put a cap on it, and you're good to go. So that's really cool. So what are the disadvantages or the bad things that I found with this? Price is one thing. It is pricey, right? So it's not free, and it's not cheap. It is about the same price as a Blickman beer gun. I mean, let's be honest, it's about $100. So it is pricey. When I got it, there was some instructions. There's a video that I'll link to down in the description about how to sanitize this and get it ready for use. I found that it was actually quite dirty. If you take a look here, I've got some Q-tips here. You can see the ends of them. All 8 ends of these Q-tips are just caked with oil and grease. So I actually had to take quite a bit of time to let this thing soak in PBW, and then clean it out using some cotton swabs. before I felt comfortable actually using it. Another thing is that the liners here, I don't know if you can see that, it's starting to tear a little bit already. Now I've only used it, I think, twice. So you will probably, if you get this, you'll probably have to replace these fairly often, maybe not, depending on the quality of the ones that you can get in your area. But yeah, and of course the worst thing about it is it's only available in Norway. Of course, TapCooler would love to get distributors across the world, and supposedly they are working on it, but yeah, it seems like a small company. They're just getting started, and kudos to them. I think it's a good product. Being small is nothing to be ashamed of. It's just, it was listed on their website as in stock, and when I went to purchase it, like nothing happened for a week, and a week later I had to send an email to them. I did get a response the next day saying that they were waiting on some of the O-rings to come in from actually like just a couple towns away, probably a 20-minute drive. That was a little bit weird that yeah, they had it listed as in stock, and yet I had to wait a whole week for them to, it was actually a week and a half before they shipped it out. It was a week when I sent off the email. So nice enough guys, they were really nice. Don't hold that anything against them, but yeah, in terms of the product reliability, you know, it looks like a pretty solid piece of equipment. I took it apart, showed it to you, and you know, it goes in, fits in well enough, stays together, everything, you know, it's pretty good. It seems like a pretty good construction. So would I buy this for myself? I was thinking about buying one for myself, but then you come back and you think, well, how often would I actually use this thing? I mean, how often do I use my beer gun? I got a beer gun, why would I want this? It's really convenient, you know, so that's one good thing. It's really convenient. It's got a very small profile, so you can pretty much just fold it up, stick it into a drawer, forget about it until the next time you need to use it, and there you go. If I was exclusively filling bottles off my kegs using the taps, then I can definitely see getting one of these tools. It's with the gas pressure capability, I think it's much more reliable than any of one of these things. If you live in Norway and you fill your bottles off the keg, I can highly recommend picking up one of these. Until they are get resellers and distribute abroad, well, I guess the access to these are somewhat limited, but there it is. I hope that you guys enjoyed the review and seeing it in action, and if you can get your hands on one, go for it. Cheers.